Jumping back on to finish questions that we did not finish a couple hours ago. I'm Janelle. I'm a cosmetic nurse practitioner. I've been injecting Botox, fillers, doing lasers, skin treatments for the past 11 years. I have my clinics in Los Angeles. We have one in Mar Vista, one in Torrance. I treat all skin types, all skin tones. My background is in facial aesthetics, doing non-surgical treatments. I really like to highlight women and men of color getting these treatments, just showing diversity in aesthetics. We see everybody, and my big thing is the natural aesthetic. I like to show that we can do cosmetic treatments and that it can look natural. It can be very true to you, to your features, your cultural ideals of beauty, your preferences. We always are going to consult before you come in for treatment. And when you're in clinic about your goals, we're going to look at how your face is aging and talk about how we can use these treatments, again, to remain very true to you, where it looks like you, it looks fresh, it doesn't look like somebody else's face. I am here to help answer questions, educate, dispel myths about the industry, and just show that, yes, we can get these treatments done and it look natural. I treat men and women of all skin types, tones, all ages, all backgrounds. We can talk through the different patients we have here. We have a lot of before and afters on my page, on our website, just trying to highlight all different types of faces, ages, and what we have done. So we can talk through these. I can also answer questions. Someone said, is that who I think it is? You might be talking, I don't know if who you're thinking, but it might be Sujia. She has been my patient for a few years. We have treated her whole face. We can talk through that. She shares a story on her page. She and I were together yesterday. We were filming a documentary for Rolling Stones, their media, and just kind of talking about these procedures that I have done. With her, with my patients, why they do them. I want you guys to understand there's like a big human side to aesthetic medicine that, it's beyond just like, oh my gosh, they got lip filler and there's needle pokes and all of that. There's like a story behind each patient and why they're getting these treatments. I'm so thankful my patients let us share their before and afters and talk about their stories, talk about their journeys. I can tell, this is a patient that had lost over 100 pounds, and she just felt like her face, she described it as droopy, and she felt like it didn't match her inside, didn't match how she felt on the outside. I hear these stories. I'm so grateful to be a part of the journey with these patients and that they entrust me with their faces and with telling me, some of their insecurities or just whatever is going on. I take this very seriously, and we can definitely, I will look through the questions, and again, we can talk through these patients and different treatments they've done. I do different lives, and I try to show different patients and just highlighting the treatments we've done, and I just want you to know this can look natural. It doesn't have to look like you've done something. That's my goal. And somebody said, I had filler under my eyes for hollowness. Now it's gone. I look tired again. Where does the filler, I think she's meaning, go? So over time, we lose volume. We can use filler underneath our eyes, under our cheeks, our chin, lips, smile lines. We will metabolize the product. Our bodies will break it down over time. A lot of the fillers that we have FDA approved in the United States are hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is something we have in our bodies. It's a sugar molecule. So when we inject this, it's going to lift or volumize, plump an area, hydrate an area. Over time, your body's going to break the product down. If you feel like it's worn down, usually in most places of the face, it lasts between 1 to 2 years. Some places last a lot longer. If you feel like it's broken down, you can always get more. Usually when my patients are coming for maintenance, they're not having to do as much filler as we do initially because they still have some of it, remaining. Let's see if there's other questions. Oh, she said, yeah, where does it go? How come you don't have Botox and fillers? I have Botox and fillers all over my face. I make a lot of videos about what I have done. I can start listing it. I've done filler into my temples. I hollow out here. My cheeks are naturally pretty full. So above it, I get pretty sunken. As we age, we lose bone, we lose volume. So I've put filler here. This helps to extend the highlight of my cheeks. It helps me to not look sunken above my cheekbone and like into my upper face. It also helps bring some light and some support around my brows. I haven't done it in like a year and a half. I feel like it's kind of starting to show a shadow. It's not crazy. I've done this. I've done filler underneath my eyes, and I post these. I've shown my pictures. I've been doing stuff for probably 8 years, maybe 8 or 9. I do filler under my eyes. I've done filler into my cheeks. I've done filler on the sides right here, like at the depth of my smile line. A lot of filler into my chin. Naturally, fuller cheeks, fuller nose, fuller lips is what I have, and my chin sits back a little bit. So I've done filler in my chin to elongate the jawline, to balance some of my naturally full mid-face features. And then I've done filler into the corners of my mouth to soften the shadows. As we get older, you can see even Sujia kind of shows some, but we lose volume here and it will kind of like dip down at the corners of the mouth. So I've done filler there. I have done Botox, my frown, my forehead, around my brows to lift. I've Botoxed into my jaw to help clenching and grinding. I've Botoxed into my temples for headaches. I've Botoxed in my chin for dimpling. I've Botoxed into my neck band. Okay, you guys are probably like, shut up, girl. You've done a lot of stuff. I've done all the things. Anything I offer, I've done in my office. So these are treatments that I want to show patients. Yes, you can do them. Yes, it can look like you. It can look fresh. It doesn't have to look done. I've done all the things. I do all the things on my mom, my dad, my husband. I do it on people that I love and that I'm around. And I do it all day on patients like these. So I've dissolved fat underneath my chin. There's probably things I've forgotten because I've done so much. I've done lasers, I've done microneedling, I've done chemical peels, I do facials, there's probably more I'm missing. So I don't know. I do all the things. I want to try it. I believe in it. I want to look refreshed. I have 3 kids, and one is a baby. He's 10 months. I have a 3-year-old, a 9-year-old. A lot of times I feel like I'm just like tired and I want to look fresh. I saw my face changing a lot going through my pregnancies, losing volume from breastfeeding, my face getting fuller, then losing volume. So I've done all the things. I can talk to you about any of the things I've done. I show pictures of me before and after. So yes, I've done all the things. I definitely have Botox and fillers all over my face. Does chin filler go above or below the muscle, deep down on the bone? And yes, my goal is one day to get someone said their goal is to do their face. We can do treatments together. My original face is how mine looks. So yes, we all are losing volume over time. Some people will show sooner than others, but even like our 20s, late 20s into our 30s, we can start seeing these early signs of aging, and it's not bad, but for the patient, they're just like, my face looks a little different than what I'm used to. We have different fat pads on our face. We have fat pad here. They start separating. They start sinking. So we will start to notice like a line from our under eye and through our cheek. At the smile line, it goes here. At the corners of the mouth, it goes downward. This fat pad will sink over time. It creates a jowl. So our jawline looks like a little irregular, not straight. We lose bone along our chin. Our chin muscle, like, it will start to go back. So our chin will look a little irregular. It'll look dimply. We'll get these deep creases of the mouth. We lose volume along our lips. So over time, the lips get thinner at the corners. Our nose gets wider. This is all what's happening, and we lose volume, up here into our temples. This is what's happening beneath the skin. And so I am thinking about this when I'm treating my patients, like, how are they aging? Where are we losing volume? What areas can I treat where it still looks very true to them? I don't want this to look done. The patients that find me, they know my style is more on that natural aesthetic where this is going to fly under the radar. Like, people aren't going to know you've done all these areas. Like, people don't look at me and think maybe they do, but they don't tell me that. They're like, oh, you look like you haven't done anything. That's my goal. I want it to look like you. I want to preserve your features. I'm not trying to make your face look like every person on the streets. So we are really looking at where you're losing volume, where you're losing bone, where we can soften shadows, how we can harmonize, upper face to lower face. I don't want to just spot treat. If people are just like, only lips, only lips, only lips. Pretty soon it's like, your lips look great, but like, this sags here, or like the mid face is sag, like it doesn't match. Your chin is short. It looks like you've had your lips done, where they're just like popping, but everything around is not supporting the lips. It can look bad. Okay, let's see. which lip filler technique is your favorite? Different techniques depending on the lip. And what their patient's goal is. So that's so it varies. Is it possible to use Masseter Botox for jaw asymmetry and cheek asymmetry? So Masseter Botox is Botox into our jaw muscle we have right here, and we have our temporalis muscle in our temples. Both of these muscles are chewing muscles. If you put your hand right here and you bite down, you can even see mine kind of flex. Watch, and then here it'll flex. That is when it contracts. That's when the muscle is flexing. Some people use this muscle a lot. They clench their teeth. They grind their teeth. They've broken teeth. They have jaw pain. They have headaches. When that is happening and patients have those symptoms and they want to soften those symptoms out from clenching and grinding, we can use Botox to weaken the muscle. You can still eat, you can still chew and talk, all of that, but it won't be so forceful, that clenching and grinding. Patients tell me this changes their lives. They say that they don't wake up in pain. They say that their headaches are gone. They're not breaking teeth. They're not grinding. Their loved one in the bedroom is not telling them, hey, you're grinding at night. So patients really like this. They tell me it changes their lives. Also, we can notice the aesthetic side that the face can start to slim out when we do Botox here. So over time, if you are constantly flexing this muscle from biting, it will start to widen and can look more square. So people will tell me, oh man, my jaw's really hurting. Also, my face is like looking really wide. Like, oh, it looks like more square. I've heard Wreck-It Ralph. I've heard look like a chipmunk, like I'm holding something in my cheeks because they're getting full right here. So when we Botox this, over time, as that muscle relaxes, it can slim the face. Most patients really like it because they say, oh, it looks like my old face that I'm used to. Sometimes men don't like when their face slims out. They like more of that like stronger square jaw, but that's just something I'll give patients a heads up on. You can help minimize the asymmetries on the face when we're using Botox here. So sometimes we like bite or chew on one side more than the other. And so like one side of the face can be more square or more wide. So we might be just Botoxing like more units on one side versus the other to try to get that one side to slim more than the other. All of this really requires like an assessment where I can look at your face, or my team can look at your face. I have other practitioners that work with me, other injectors, nurse practitioner injectors. We look at your face. We're going to fill on your muscles. We want to get a good history. So talking about your symptoms, how severe they are, what's going on, and then we can determine how much we should use and how long we do it. Most of the time people do this for a year. So they do 3 or 4 treatments every 3 months they'll come in. And then after that, patients will say a lot of times that their symptoms don't bother them anymore. So we don't have to do it at all. Or if we're doing it, we typically don't have to do as much, or we can go longer in between. Yes, it can help to minimize some of those asymmetries that we may have if we are like overusing one side. Someone said they'll make a trip to LA to come see me. I would love to see you. I see patients from all over the world. I connect with so many patients, mostly from TikTok. So I really appreciate having this space to connect with my patients. I every single day I'm in clinic, somebody has flown in from somewhere. I just ask, if you fly in for your treatment, you stay in town for a day. If there's any emergency, and we can talk about safety stuff surrounding these treatments in just a second, I just want to be able to see you, and then not you just jump back on the plane and leave that day. So safety when it comes with filler, we want to make sure we're not blocking blood flow off. We've got blood vessels all over our face, all over our body. We don't want to put too much filler in any spot that blood can't flow like normal. So what we're looking for is that your skin color is normal. You have no extreme pain. You have no vision issues. If you had anything like that, it could mean somehow we're blocking blood flow, and we would dissolve the filler. I've been injecting for 11 years. I do this all day, and I've never had to dissolve anybody for any emergent reason, any filler, any part of their face. So this is really rare, but I want patients to be mindful of these rare risks that can occur with these cosmetic procedures. I want patients to understand these are medical procedures. We want to be mindful of them. We want to be equipped on how to intervene and have all the stuff to intervene if needed. So yes, I have people fly in every day. I just ask that you stay in town that day. If there's something that's, of an emergent reason, I can take care of you. I would love to see you. And before you come in, I consult all of my patients just so we can discuss your questions, your goals, tips on what to expect, how to prep for treatments. We're going to make sure you are the best prepared for when you come. We go through all of your questions. We start developing that treatment plan on our consultation. And then in person, we continue the conversation. We start the treatment, and then we continue with that treatment plan. We every single time you come in, we discuss where you're at. And even for patients that I have treated every 3 months for 11 years, we still sit down at the beginning of each appointment. We talk about how was last time? Is there anything that we should tweak? Anything new going on? Are you prepping for an event? Did you lose weight? Are you noticing a different part of your face that we haven't addressed yet? Did you see something on TikTok? Then you say, does that fit for you? Like, we talk through all of these things. The more I know about you, your lifestyle, your background, what's bringing you to get these treatments, the better I can help develop a treatment plan specific towards you. So let me keep going through these questions. Someone said they lost 30 pounds. Sudden definition, not sure how to make my face more aesthetic. We can talk through all of these things. This patient right here, so beautiful. She came to me after she had lost 100 pounds. She said she just felt like, again, she looked like sunken, droopy were her words. If we lose weight, we also tend to lose fat in our faces. Typically, like the fullness of the fat in our face helps us to look a little more youthful, a little more plump, more lifted. So we can talk through these changes. We can look at where you're noticing volume loss. Usually, as people start to lose weight, they will notice volume like from their temples, their mid face, the smile lines look deeper, the corners of the mouth. Everything is kind of like just sinking a little bit. It varies from face to face. Every face is a little bit different, but those are a lot of the areas that we will address over time. So I want to look at you. If you're still planning to lose more weight, sometimes we have to have that discussion on if we pause on doing the treatments or if you're going to lose 30 more pounds, I just say your face will likely also lose weight. We might want to wait until you get closer to that goal. Sometimes patients tell me, look, I'm still losing weight, but I don't like, how I look saggy right now. I want to do something. We can start the treatment plan and just not get to 100% completion because we are anticipating that you're going to lose more weight. So we just have to talk through where you're at in treatment, like develop the treatment plan and your goals. How long do results last? It's typically going to range between 1 to 2 years for your filler. It can be longer depending on the areas, like the under eyes tend to last can be longer than that, but I typically tell patients like 1 to 2 years depending on the area. And even at that point, when they come back in for maintenance, they're like, oh, it doesn't look like they're back to square one, like they've never done anything, but they just say, oh, it's just not as lifted, or it doesn't have the same highlight, the same amount of volume. So usually for maintenance, we're not having to do as much when we're doing maintenance on our filler. This is somebody that did her chin and we did her under eyes. You can't see from the front, but her chin, we were trying to do what a lot of people describe facial balancing. Facial balancing is where we look at your face and we discuss how we can make sure your features are harmonized. We can minimize asymmetries if they bother you. But she just felt like, she has the fuller cheeks, full lips, fuller nose, and she felt like her jawline just kind of sits back some. So we did, it's kind of cut off, but we did some filler into her chin. You can see where it looks straighter, not as curved, and it's brought forward along her jawline. So helps to balance the features. I need to get this in frame a little bit better. I'll post them on the page so you can see as well. But it looks super true to her. This is somebody else that did some into her chin. A lot of these people I did into, I think everybody I did into their chin on this page, I didn't know, but I'm really looking at your face. So we did some into her chin. You can see we increased the lip size, but if I go bigger on the lips and then the chin is short, the lips they can't overpower the lower face where it looks a little off from the side profile. We don't want any one feature just dominating the face. So we did some into her chin, her mid-face, under eye cheek area, but again, and her lips, super balanced. This patient, under eyes, lips, chin, super balanced. My goal is not to have it look like you've done something. She's a little poked up here, so you can see where she's a little bit more like bruised or red. That's what you can expect after your treatment, or it could be a little bit more bruised than this. We talk about how to prep for your treatments, avoiding blood thinners, avoiding alcohol, eating pineapple, taking arnica helps minimize bruising and swelling. She did some into her chin. This one here, also wanted to straighten the bump on her nose. She wanted to increase her lip size. Really, it was the upper lip relative to the lower lip ratio. And then we also did some into her mid face and under eyes. You just can't see from this side view. All looks super balanced and natural to her. Sujia, we've done her whole face. We started just lips and Botox. After doing lips a few times, I was like, look, this is starting to dominate your lower face. I gotta do a little bit into your chin so it doesn't look like we've done something. So we've done chin filler. We've done filler into the corners of the mouth, into her smile lines, into her cheeks. Look at her page. Like, she looks super fresh. I read her comments. I'm always like, are people saying anything? Like, oh, it looks like she had something done. She's like, they never do. She's like, they just comment on my makeup, or they just say, oh my gosh, you look so great, or give us a lipstick tutorial. Like, we've done all her face. My goal is to make sure you look true to you, where people don't know unless we tell them and we start showing the pictures, but it just looks really fresh to you. This patient as well, this is the one that had lost 100 pounds, and we did lips, under eyes, cheeks, chin, smile lines, corners of the mouth. So everything in here right now, she's a little swollen because we just finished. This looks more dramatic than what it will actually end up being over time. So your swelling is going to happen a little bit more, then it settles some. It takes 6 to 8 weeks to fully settle, but the first 2 to 3 weeks is the worst of everything. Am I a nurse? Yes, I'm a nurse practitioner, trained as a family nurse practitioner, and then I've been doing cosmetic procedures, cosmetic injections, lasers, microneedling, skincare for the past 11 years. So this is my specialty. This is what I focus all my time on. I love it. I have 2 clinics, one in Los Angeles, one in... I really treat all skin types and tones. I love to highlight diversity in aesthetics. I love to show all different types of faces. This is just the few that I could fit right here, and I try to do lives and talk through different treatments of different patients, but I show so many patients and all the different procedures. My patients are lovely. I appreciate you guys sharing your pictures, sharing your stories. They answer questions. We do a lot of filming and just showing our patients, getting the procedures, talking about what the healing is like, talking about why they did it, really trying to show the human side behind just the lip filler or just the needle that I think a lot of people think that is what aesthetic medicine is. But I'm really considering the full picture, the full patient. I want to hear your story. I want to be a part of it. It just helps me with developing the plan for you. Okay, do I have any locations in Maryland? No, I don't. Like I said, I see patients from all over the world. I see a lot of patients from Houston and Texas, and I think that's going to be on my map for like maybe in this next year of getting clinics out there. I love my patients, but those are probably the next ones. New York and Texas are like big ones. Whoever come to LA, I'm in LA. That is my office. So I have 2 clinics there. Can Botox help with smile lines? So Botox for smile lines, and people notice like, oh, I smile and I'm getting these lines, they're getting deeper. My goal here is to soften the lines, not get the lines all the way away. If we try to chase to have no line here, it's going to look weird if you have no line. Because we're still going to smile. We're still going to talk, like our face is going to move. So I let the patients know we can use filler or a collagen stimulator. There's all natural filler where we draw your blood, we spin it, we heat it. And we can do that in the area, or we can do filler to soften the lines. We don't want to use Botox here. Botox is going to relax the muscles from moving. I don't want to relax your muscles around the mouth, because then you wouldn't be able to smile, you wouldn't be able to talk. It's going to look weird. So Botox is not for here. Botox is for like your frown, your forehead lines, these. But we don't want to Botox this area, or you won't be able to smile and move your mouth. Filler or a collagen stimulator to soften. And when we're thinking about smile lines, it's not just these lines. What is causing those lines to occur? So remember, we lose volume starting from up here all the way down. So very often as these fat pads separate, we'll have a line. Oh, you guys can see it right here on me. This little shadow, you'll have a line from the under eyes, then through the cheeks, this one, and the corners of the mouth. So I'm like, if I just soften this, I can, but it can still look pushed down. So sometimes we're doing a little bit of filler into here and maybe here, just so the cheek has this illusion of like having a highlight looking pulled back, and then this distracts from the lines looking as deep. So sometimes we're treating other areas just to fit in for the whole picture. Let me see if I can go through other recommendations for reducing the size of the chin. Do you mean here or here? So if it's underneath, we can dissolve filler. We can dissolve fat with Kybella. It's an injectable medication that permanently dissolves fat. You can also do liposuction. That's surgery, but the non-surgical way is here. But to take down, if your chin is projected, we don't reduce. I don't have any way to take down this projection. Sometimes it might be treating other areas to offset if you feel like this is dominating. Sometimes it might be into the lips or the cheeks, but that is something we can assess face by face. Let me make sure I got all the messages here. Okay, what are your thoughts on having upper cheek filler dissolved? If you have cheek filler and you feel like it looks inauthentic to you, dissolve it. I think where it might not be dissolving just cheek filler, it might be looking at the surrounding structures. So sometimes I feel like I see this in Los Angeles sometimes where people are just like, oh my gosh, their cheeks are popping and all you see are cheeks, cheeks, cheeks. And it's like super filled and super lifted and wow. So that is like if we're only, this is again spot treating, we're only treating one area, but we're not looking at how this impacts other areas of the face. So if we only build out the cheeks, above and below can look almost gaunt or sunken in. So it could be dissolve the cheeks, but it also might be assessing above or below. Sometimes it's, using a collagen stimulator or filler into these areas so the cheeks are not dominating the face. They're not the most prominent thing. You can dissolve filler though. It's again, case by case, like we look at your face and we say, what is going on? How can we make this look the most natural to you and your features? And then let's see, alternative for, fat removal through here. Non-surgically, not a lot. I will do Kybella if somebody has like the fullness here. If it's full and it's fat and not just skin. If it's just skin, I don't want to dissolve fat here because the skin will just hang and we can't really like tighten. We can't pull that back. So for fullness into the mid-face, sometimes I will do Kybella if it's actually fat in through this area. Sometimes if it's like full in the lower face, it might be doing Botox into your jaw muscle, into your masseter. So it's, again, we got to kind of assess and see what is going to be right for you. Sujia, yes, that's her. She's so beautiful. We've done her whole face. We've done stuff over years. She talks about it a lot. We share, we make fun videos, and she's really like about just showing women of color doing this, showing that this can be very natural aesthetic and it can look true to you. She describes it as, hey, I felt like my before did not match who I was feeling on the inside. She was like, she says, I feel like a little old hag. She's like, that's not me. She's like, this matches who I feel like I am on the inside. Agnes RF for under eye bags. I don't know what that is. Radio frequency skin tightening device. I don't know it, so I don't want to speak on it. Just when you're looking at getting procedures, look for several before and afters, not just one. Make sure there's people that look like you. I think that is big. When we're getting into some of these devices, microneedling, radio frequency devices, be careful. Skin of color, you want to be careful about getting devices, making sure that it is safe for all skin types and tones. And I don't want to just hear them say that. I want to see people that look like me are getting this. I want to see the before and afters, because if you're getting something that is not for black and brown skin and you are black and brown, it can hyperpigment or it can burn. Hyperpigment means get dark spots. It can burn. So we want to be careful. Just definitely doing the research. What did Sujia get done? She has done filler into her cheeks, her smile lines, her lips, the corners of the mouth, her chin. We've Botoxed her upper face. We've done these things over sessions, over time to just make sure it looks true to her. Someone said I got a mole removed, but the melanin spot is still here. Do you have anything for that? I'm in LA. Yes, so we can look at it. We have microneedling. We have skin pin. This is safe for all skin types and tones. We treat a lot of women of color in our practice. office every single day. I also have a dermatology nurse practitioner named Niani. She's on our team. She is amazing with assessing the skin. I really am like an injector through and through, and I definitely know a lot about skin, but Niani is like a dermatology first. So she is skin first. She can also help assess. So come and see her. We have Ashley on our team. That is a nurse injector that's been in the industry for a few years. She has beautiful lips. She has beautiful work. We have Lauren, who's been working with me for a year. They are very detailed. They all treat all skin types and tones. Like that is what we do, what we represent in our office, and they're all going to have a natural aesthetic. We're all going to sit down and have a conversation with you, develop a treatment plan with you. This is a relationship. So you can see anybody and everybody on our team. You're going to get amazing results. There are certain things that some specialize in more than others. So if you ever have a question, sometimes I'm like, hey, I want you to see Niani for this, or I want you to see this person for that. We know like where to direct. Someone says they want to get smile line filler, but they heard it's dangerous near there because of nerves. So I think probably what you're thinking about is the blood vessels. So we talked about this maybe 10 minutes ago or so, but we've got safety with filler, blood vessels all over our face. Blood vessels, we want to make sure we're not blocking the blood flow off when we're doing filler. If we are blocking blood flow off, it can cause tissue death. If we block blood flow off, some of these blood vessels run behind the eye. If we block blood flow off there, it can cause blindness. Now, I say this to you guys so you can know these rare risks that occur with cosmetic procedures. Super rare. Again, why you want to make sure you know who you're going to, make sure they are equipped to intervene in case of a rare emergency, make sure they know what to look for, make sure they're talking to you about these rare complications and what you need to look for, having these conversations. So in my 11 years, I've never had to intervene for any of these rare emergencies. Not to say it can't happen. I tell every single patient, I don't care if I've treated you 100 times, like it could happen today. This is a rare risk that we're taking when we're doing these procedures, but here's what we're looking for. We want to make sure we have the normal skin color, not paler than normal. If it's paler than normal, that means blood cannot flow to that area. We want to make sure that we don't have any extreme pain. If you're having extreme pain, like you'll feel the poke, but you shouldn't have extreme pain. Extreme pain means blood can't flow to that area. If you're having any vision issues, that is meaning somehow we're blocking blood flow to the eyes. So in these instances, we dissolve the filler. The filler can be broken down with a medication called hyaluronidase, or Hylenex is the brand. If you are seeing a provider, and not me or my team, whoever you're going to see, make sure they have Hylenex. This is a dissolving agent on hand. We carry like 20 vials on hand all the time, just in case of these rare emergencies. And again, I see patients that fly in every single day to do this stuff. I ask, stay in town for a day. If there is an emergency, I want to be able to take care of you. I want to be able to dissolve it and intervene. Never had to do that for anybody. Not to say it can't happen. I am praying all day over all my patients. I'm just like, God, guide my hands, protect my patients, make sure we're safe and they get beautiful outcomes and we don't have any issues. We've never had that, but it can happen. So that's what I think you're talking about when you're saying smile lines through here, blocking blood flow, blood vessels here, run behind the eye. Again, super rare risk, but you want to make sure you're going to somebody experienced and that can intervene and can look for, like, try to minimize those risks. So what are they doing to minimize the risk, and how can they intervene if something does happen? Sorry, I know I want all of you to be super educated about these procedures. I think they're getting more mainstream. I've been in this 11 years. I feel like it's way more common now today, people getting it, than the past 11 years, but I also want people to be smart about if they're getting them. You know, we're not just looking for the best coupon that we can get. This is your face. It can be more expensive to try to fix something than just doing it right the first time. Okay, we can talk about under eye filler. Yes. So under eye filler for volume loss, hollowness, sunkenness is where we will use filler, or the all natural filler alternative, the one where we draw your blood, we spin it, we heat it up, we inject it. Filler is going to help to lift a sunken area, revolumize an area. Limitations, what filler cannot do. It's not going to take away the color of the skin. So even for me, I'm pretty filled, but I still have, like, my skin naturally is darker here than other parts of my face. Most people, it's darker under the eyes. That's normal. Skin color won't change, but people will tell me after it's lifted, they're like, my concealer actually works because it's not there's not that sunkenness. So it won't change the color of your skin. It's not going to take away fat pads. We all have fat pads under our eyes. This patient, you can kind of see some people's fat pads sit out more than others. So you can see she still has her fat pad, but I treated right underneath it to camouflage the fat pad. If you want that fat pad taken away or tightened, you do that with surgery. So this is non-surgical to camouflage the bag. I have more before and afters, and I'll change them up on the next live to show I've treated patients that have like bigger bags. Oh, you can even see her. Some like the eye bags protrude out. I can camouflage them. I can't get them all the way away. Another limitation, filler under the eyes is not good for people that get puffy or swollen. So some people tell me every day I wake up, I'm always swollen. Oh, I've got bad allergies. I cry a lot. Oh, I eat a lot of salty food. I drink and then I get puffy. You're not a good candidate for filler because filler binds water. So we want to avoid filler in you because it will puff up and down every time you're swollen and puffy. So that's something to be mindful of. If you are not a candidate for it, you can do the all-natural filler alternative. Draw your blood, spin it, heat it, re-inject it. It's going to stimulate new collagen in the area over time. My limitations with that are it depends on the health of my patient. Younger, healthier patient is going to get a better blood draw. They're going to have more growth factors in their body. They're going to have more ability to stimulate new collagen than if I had a 75-year-old smoker that has uncontrolled diabetes. My patients really like the all-natural filler alternative. And you can do both. So if you do that one and then you say, oh, I saw the results and I got the collagen stimulation, but I still want like a little bit more, you can do filler as long as you're a candidate. Are people who consistently work out good candidates for filler? So, okay, yes, I treat patients. I treat patients that are like body lifters, like compete for body lifting competitions. I don't know, where they're just super ripped and they're freaking gorgeous. They tend to lose a lot of fat in their faces. Yes, you can do filler. I just say you may metabolize this a little bit quicker. So that's something we keep in mind. Sometimes we might consider collagen stimulators just because they might break down their filler a little bit faster. But I treat these patients. They love it as well. It just might run it down a little bit. I've gotten under eye fillers and I have allergies. I never knew that. So it's just something to be mindful of. If you have allergies, but you don't really get puffy through here, okay. But if you're like somebody that swells and puffs after filler, it can be worse puffing. So that's something to be mindful of. People said, is that who it is? I think in the middle row, that's Sujia. Yes, we've been together for a few years. She's lovely. I'm trying to go back through these. Someone says, it always looked like I'm extremely tired. People think something is wrong with me. And I can't find what her first question was. So she might be talking about under eye filler. So the under eye filler here, under eye filler here, under eye filler in all of these patients actually, but some you can't see the views because I was trying to show the profiles. And it's just to brighten and refresh the under eyes. So where it just softens that shadow where it doesn't look sunken in, it will be brighter. You can use your concealer and it'll conceal actually. Can I have an eyebrow lift with Botox? Yes, you can. So Botox is going to weaken our muscles from contracting so forcefully. I don't have Botox right now. I've done all this stuff. I'm just breastfeeding. So around the eye, we have a circle. It's a circle muscle, and the function of the muscle is to close in. So when we Botox here, you see all these little, you can see the muscle pull. We Botox here, and when you smile, instead of it closing in so forcefully, it'll open you up just a little bit. It will help to lift the lateral brow. It's not going to be like this. So some people are like, it's not the thread lift. It's not the surgery. It's not going to be the cat eye. But it's a natural lift and patients really like it. They notice it. They say they feel like their brows are more lifted. They feel like their eyes are a little bit brighter, not brighter, but more open. So that's the brightness I'm talking about. What do I think about PRF on brown skin? Yes, we do it at our patients. It's safe for all skin types and tones. Yes, you can totally do it and it works well. I've done it. I've done it under eyes. I've done it smile lines, corners of the mouth, chin. I like it. It's wonderful. A younger, healthier patient is going to have a better outcome than somebody old that has uncontrolled health problems or smoker. So what did Sujia have done? Because I want it. I know everybody loves Sujia. She's so great. We've done her whole face, mid-face, cheek filler, smile lines, corners of her mouth, lips, chin, and it looks like her. It looks fresh. She shares stories about it. She's fun. We have a lot of fun. And somebody said about booking consultation. Yes, we book consultations. I like to do them virtual before you even come in so we can discuss your questions, your goals. I can give you tips on what to expect, how to prep. So when we're in treatment, we can start treatment and we can make sure you're prepared that day, and we continue developing our treatment plan, having a discussion when you're in office. We do have in-office consultations. Most of the time, those are with my other nurses and nurse practitioners. Yeah. And let's see these other ones. I'm trying to go through the questions. Sorry. Someone said they look great. Thank you. Yes, that's Suji. Okay, Easy Gel. Yes, for the under eyes. I like it. I just talked about it a few minutes ago for collagen stimulation. That's the all natural one where we draw your blood. What about nose filler? I want to fix my side profile. I'm afraid that it will migrate. Okay, I think this is the only nose I have on this page, but I treat a lot of noses. You can see on my profile, it says like patient before and afters, or you can go to my website, you can see before and afters, or you can scroll through my pages, or you can go to my other social pages and you can see before and afters like on my main profile. So nose filler is going to help camouflage a bump, lift the tip of the nose, create contour like definition or highlight down the center. We can do Botox to prevent nasal flaring so the nose can look a little bit slimmer. It's not going to actually make your nose slimmer. That filler is not going to do that. This is all about creating an illusion. There is no downtime with this. You go back to work and life easy. You're not bruised. I mean, you could bruise, but you're not like beat up like a nose surgery. You don't have to wait a year for your swelling to go down. Patients love it. This is a patient that wanted to camouflage the bump and lift the tip of her nose. And I have some patients that are like, I want to like soften my bump, but I want my bump completely straight, or I want to lift it just a little, or I want to lift it a lot, or all these different things. It is so specific to you and your goals, and we talk about it and you can see it instantaneously. So as I'm doing it, we look together. Hey, how do you like this? I like it. Oh, can you make it straighter here? Or can you lift it more here? If we can do it, I will. As much as I can. With filler, I will. Sometimes if patients are asking for something I can't achieve with filler, I just say, hey, there's limitations with this. Here's what we can do. I show a lot of before and afters before somebody does it so they can see, here's what you can expect. How does this resonate with you? Is this what you're going for? Yes. Here's how we can do it. Or no, you're looking for something more dramatic. Maybe get a surgery consult and see if that's right for you. But patients love it. I do nose filler over 2 sessions just because you can bruise, you can swell. It's not going to be, they don't usually complain of a ton of bruising and swelling with the nose, but I want this to settle, and then that lays the foundation. Then I have you come back 6 to 8 weeks later, and then we kind of fine tune the areas. We can like lift it a little bit more if you want. I love it. And yes, it does help from the side profile. Migration, okay, it's not slipping and sliding around your face, but how you want to prevent this from moving or being indented is during the healing time. As it's not settled, we don't want to put like glasses, goggles. You don't want to lay on your face. It is a gel. It's a filler. So if you are like pressing on it, it's going to indent. So that is something. And then also realizing there's limitations that we can do with these gels. Sometimes people are like, keep adding and adding and adding. I want it like more and more brought up. I'm like, if I just keep adding, that's when it can get puffy. Like, realize there are limitations. I will do my very best to get what you're trying to go for. If it's something that's unrealistic that can't be achieved with filler, I will tell you, hey, I don't think that's going to work. If we keep going, the outcome might not be what we're trying to go for. So just understanding that. I do nose filler. Patients love it. I say 1.5 to 2 years. A lot of people get longer out of it. And then even when they come back, it's like, it's not like the bump is all the way gone, like it's all the way come back. It's just, it's slight. So small amounts on the touch up. How long does filler last for the bottom corners of the mouth? My face is pretty useful. Hate this. So remember, we lose volume. We get this shadow, this shadow, this shadow over time. It'll start sinking. You see Sujia, where we have some of these shadows here. We can start seeing these shadows, like early signs of it in our 20s and 30s. It will continue to sink over time. So we put a little support into here with filler. Usually I say like a year, 1 to 2 years. Usually around a year, we look at it. Should we do more? If you're somebody younger and and they don't have that much, it might be closer to the 2 years. If you're older and they're already like kind of deep, it might be closer to the 1 year. Big things here, I don't want to overfill it because I don't want it to be puffy. So sometimes I tell patients, I'd rather you have a little bit of a line or a little bit of a shadow, and not me try to correct this 100% because I don't want it to be puffy. I'm always trying to make sure this looks the most natural. Let me see if I can hit these messages. Somebody there, you guys keep asking about Sujia. Yes, that is definitely her, and she's awesome and beautiful, and she shares about it. If I'm attending an event in July, how close to the date should I get filler? So for filler, it takes 6 to 8 weeks to fully settle. Depends on the event. If it's your wedding, I want to be doing this months in advance. So we have time for it to settle. We have time to do more little tweaks if we want. If you are just like, oh, I'm going to go to brunch with my friend, my family, give yourself 3 weeks. But if it's important to you, the longer, anywhere between 1 to 2 months is better. In case you're bruised, in case you're swollen, I don't want you to show up feeling self-conscious because of a bruise or swelling. Most patients tell me 2 weeks, they're cool. 3 weeks, they're cool. If you're taking long flights, that prolongs the swelling. If you are getting super sweaty, hot, exercising heavily, that prolongs your swelling. But most of the time, we really go through pre and post care. If you follow this pre and post care, the patients that do, they're like, oh, yeah, I was chill 2-3 weeks. It was not a big deal. The ones that don't, it just takes longer for everything to heal. How did I get the first person's results? So we did filler under her eyes. You can't see it from this side just because I'm trying to show the side profile. We did filler under her eyes. We did nose filler to soften the bump, lift the tip of her nose. We did filler into her upper lip. She wanted to balance the ratios between her upper and lower lip. And then we did some filler into her chin to bring her chin forward. And then we softened the shadows along the sides. We did this over 2 sessions. She's going to bruise, she's going to swell, and it'll settle. But this is immediately after the second session, looks like her. And that's my goal. And she said none of her family knew, none of her friends knew. That's the goal. Like, I want this to fly under the radar. What my patients say they hear from their friends and family, like, oh, I got carded when I went out. Oh, they said I changed my hair. Did I change my makeup? That's the goal. Like, they're like, nobody knew, like, unless I told them. And then they're saying, what do you mean you got filler? What do you mean you got Botox? You don't look like you've done anything. And then I show them the pictures and they're like, oh, wow, I can see it. I wouldn't have known. That's my goal. That's just my aesthetic take. And my patients that come and find me, they see my aesthetic preference and like my goal, and they want the same. Okay, let me see if I can get through these questions. What is done to the chin bottom left? Bottom left right here, we did chin filler. She had lost 100 pounds and she was a part of our beauty campaign. I did this like a month or 2 ago where I said, hey, I'm just trying to highlight diversity in aesthetics. I'm looking for I treated people, I paid for all this stuff. And I said, I just want you to share your story, why you're getting it, help to show the human side behind aesthetic medicine, behind this needle. Everyone thinks it's just the needle pokes and big lips. I'm like, that's not it. We did her full face. She did filler into her eyes, into her cheeks, her lips, and into her chin to elongate her jawline. She naturally has full lips. She just wanted them a little bit more popped. And I said, if we do that, we should really consider chin filler so that your lips aren't dominating. This is immediately before and after. So she's swollen here. It's going to get more swollen during healing, and then it settles. And so we have done her follow-up in videos. It takes me a long time to put videos together. But she just talked about her journey, what the swelling was like, what her family said, what her husband said, like, and she was like, nobody knew. She like, well, first few days, her husband was like, oh, this is kind of a lot. It settles. But I want people to know like what to expect with it. Somebody said, maybe this got asked, but what do you like most on yourself, Botox or filler? Oh, sheesh, I have done my whole face. I did list out, it took me probably 2 minutes to say everything I did earlier, but I've done temple filler, cheek filler, under eye filler, filler right here to soften the smile lines, filler into corners of the mouth, filler into my chin, Botox, my frown, forehead, around the eyes, my temples and my jaw for TMJ symptoms, Botox into my neck to tighten the neck bands, Botox into my chin for dimpling. I don't know how to pick. That's like saying pick a favorite child. I mean, I love them both. I feel like the most impactful that I like, my favorite things I have done for myself were under eye filler and chin filler. I had lost a lot of weight from breastfeeding. I have 3 kids. And I breastfed the first one for a long time, and I got really sunken under my eyes. And I just felt like I looked tired all the time. And putting volume through here, and I already had I have full cheeks. So it just looked more sunken and hollow. So this just helped it to not, it just looked brighter under my eyes. I haven't done it. I did that like 8 years ago. Maybe, yeah, almost 8 years, 7, 8 years ago. And yeah, I haven't done it again. I would do it. I've done the all natural one just because I'm breastfeeding another kid right now. The all natural filler alternative, I like that as well for collagen stimulation. But there's still some spots where I'm like here and there, I'm like, I see a little bit of a shadow. It doesn't bother me a ton because it's not like what it used to be. And then my chin, because I have these naturally full cheeks, I'm Filipino and black, full cheeks, full nose, like wide nose, full lips. My chin sits back a little bit. So putting filler here elongated my jawline. It stopped the dimpling. It brought some highlight to my lower face. I used to do a lot of kind of keeping my mouth open all the time. I didn't know what I was doing. I just felt like I looked a little bit better when my mouth was parted, but I didn't know, but I was trying to get some highlight, some length to my lower face. So I've done all these things. I love it. Someone said they lost a lot of weight. They feel like they need it. Yes, I see a lot of patients after weight loss where they say, I'm happy with my body, but my face I look older than I am because we lose fat in our faces as well. So these areas that will just happen with aging where we get like this line and this line, if you lose weight, it almost happens a little bit faster. So where this will look like a little drooped, a little sunken, the lines are deeper. So that's where we will use filler or all natural filler or some Botox. It just really depends on the face to help reestablish some volume. Okay, I'm going to get off this in just a minute. And then if you wanted a result on the top left, what would I ask for? Sorry, I just joined. Yes, so we talked about, you can say facial balancing. You can just say, hey, you don't even have to explain it. Like if you know something that is concerning you, you can tell me that. If you don't, we can look at your face together and talk about where there are these signs of aging, what's going on beneath the skin, that we can keep an eye on or that we can work on at that point if you want. But she did cheek filler, under eye filler, nose filler, lip filler, chin filler. So she did her full face. She did under eye filler, a little into her cheeks, lips and chin. She did cheeks, smile lines, lips, corners of the mouth, chin filler, Botox. She did under eye filler, lip filler, a little into her cheeks, and then chin filler. She had lost 100 pounds. She did under eye filler, cheek filler, lip filler, smile line filler, corners of her mouth, chin. You can't see from the side, but she did under eye filler, chin filler, and Botox. So all of these patients, I just want to show this is what my patients look like. I have hundreds, I have probably thousands of before and after photos, and there's probably more. It just takes me a long time to oh shoot, Suji, we've been together for years. I got to pull up her photos from years ago and then pull up today's photos. So it just takes me a long time to put them together sometime, but my patients are real cool and a lot of people consent to us sharing pictures. I really appreciate that because I'm always trying to show these procedures can look natural. Yes, women of color and men of color get them and it can look natural and it look like yourself. They have all done their faces, their full faces. We are not just doing one spot. We're not just doing lips. I mean, you can, but at a certain point, if you just do your lips, it's like your lips look great and your lips are popping, but these are saggy and this is saggy and your chin is back. Your lips start dominating the face and it looks like you've done lips. I'm trying to make everything look great where it doesn't look like you've done anything. It just looks like you and it looks natural. The whole face is coming forward together and we're not, you're not just only working on one spot, just the lips or just the cheeks. That is where things start to look unnatural. And I think for a long time, aesthetics was really that, just the cheek filler, just the lip filler, and it didn't look right. Okay. Do I have packages? We have packages for like skin treatments. I haven't even talked about skin. We talked a little bit about some of the skin treatments. We have packages on the all natural filler. So skin treatments like our laser, our skin pin, all these patients also, we're getting them on skin regimens. We're getting them on skin treatments because we don't want to just fill the face. I mean, you guys know I like filler. I love Botox. I love all this stuff. But if your skin, like we want the skin to match. Like if your skin is not nice or it's like really broken out or you have a lot of hyperpigmentation, it can almost like your results from your filler can't even pop. And honestly, once patients get their skin really nice, where they're like, I'm not even having to wear makeup, they're happier with that than like even the filler. It all plays a role. We want to assess the full face. Yeah. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay, if you think of, someone said, Sujia is getting all the love today. What did she do? Cheek filler, smile line filler, lip filler, chin filler, corners of the mouth, and Botox everywhere. Is it okay to get cheek filler at 21? I had an injector tell me to get it in my 30s. It depends on your face. I think if you're getting it at 21, I mean, your face is still probably has some of the baby fat. Like, it's just like we got to assess your face. Maybe you went through a lot of weight loss. That could be different where you're seeing signs of aging earlier. But otherwise, like you don't want to do stuff too quick. A lot of my patients will start doing this in their later 20s, early 30s. However, I have treated patients that are younger. Usually it's like after weight loss, or I had somebody that was like in a car accident. And so one of her, like her face had some asymmetry because she had injury. So this is so personalized and so person to person. And I don't want to say only wait until you get your, until you get to your 30s to start it. It's like we have to discuss what's going on with you, what is bringing you in there, all these things before, as we're developing the treatment plan. Oh, Bella said she booked her skin with Niani. You are going to love her. She's amazing. She's been dermatology nurse practitioner for a long time. That girl can walk in and say, oh, X, Y, and Z. Like she's noticing stuff on the skin I don't even see. So she's amazing. I love her. I think you will love her. How do you find someone with your care and experience? Oh, thank you. Do your research, man. Read the reviews, look at their before and afters, get a referral, do a consult. Do not rush into doing these treatments. I love this. I love this. I love this. You guys see, I put my heart and soul. I'm praying for all my patients. I want you to look and feel beautiful, even without fillers and Botox. But if we're doing this, I'm definitely putting my heart because I don't want you investing in this and you not feel like it was a good investment. But definitely research. Don't rush it. Find somebody that you really resonate with. Because the patients, a lot of times patients tell me they just did something. I went to Mexico, I got this for $50, and now they're trying to have me fix it. And it's like more expensive than if we had just done it together the first time, right? And also, I've had so many crazy stories like that over the years. Just don't do that. Just be smart. It's your face. You are forward facing for the world to see. Like, I want you to look and feel beautiful. Like I said, without these and with the procedures, if you choose to get them. Okay. Yes, that's Sujia. I think people just keep jumping on. What is the chin one? Chin, they all have chin. Every single person in this whole thing has done chin filler. So chin filler there to bring it forward, to camouflage jowls, to bring forward her chin, help to not showcase the lips, to support the lips, give a little bit of length to bring forward, to project her jawline. So they all have had chin filler. I love chin filler. I have it. I told you, it's between my eyes and my under eyes and my chin. I don't know what's my favorite between those two. I think this probably made the most balance, but this made me not look like I'm running ragged behind all my children. Okay. I will jump on more. I appreciate you. Please send me questions. I will continue to answer them and jump on live and talk, and I'll do more patients to keep showing all the different faces. And I appreciate my patients sharing these. Yeah. All right. Talk to you soon. Have a good one.